Hello, you fellow musicians and gamers out there. This is Clarinetgamer here, and I am back again with a new series. And this series was the one I talked about before on my channel. It is called Throwback Tuesday. This is episode 1, part 1. Now, what I'm going to be doing here in this format, guys, is yes, I am going to be revisiting, well, all the games in order that I played on my channel. So this game is by Reflections, well, which is pretty, well, ironic considering that I'm actually. Well, it's pretty fitting considering that I'm actually reflecting on this game, considering that I played this on my channel back, well, 2012-ish, I think, or I think it was about 2012 I first played Destruction Derby. So yes, I'm revisiting Destruction Derby. So, this game, oh, this takes me back, way back. Oh, I don't know, I mean, my first impressions, I first played this game in probably 1999/2000, I think. I think it was probably when I first played the PS1, I think. Oh, I just get that. Sorry. That's it. Okay, sorry, there's just something on my computer that I just need to get rid of. But what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm not going to be playing through the championship mode. I'm just going to do like a race practice on a track of my choice, and I'm going to go through each game mode as I go through the game, so I just give you a bit of a walkthrough of the game. So this is kind of like, well, I'm doing one video of a game, so this is kind of like revisiting a game with better commentary, with better quality video as well. So I'm going to do Wreck and Race and race practice, but I'm going to do this on one of my favourite tracks I like to do Wreck and Racing on, which will be the crossover. So I'm going to do that. And I've got a script right in front of me on my phone, so I'm going to follow this as I go through this track right here. So let's go and do this. And I like us got buckle up and sit tight. Well, I'm not buckled up, but I'm not sitting tightly either. I'm sitting at my own leisure. But anyway, so yes, I first played this game in like 1999/2000. I thought, like, my first impressions of the game were, well, it was pretty cool at the time, but it was pretty slow. As you can see right here, like, the gameplay for this is pretty slow, as you can see right here actually. It's not that fast. It's not really that exciting, but in the other... Well, it's got a good wreck and racing action, don't get me wrong, but I feel that the other racing modes, which are stock car racing and Destruction Derby mode, well, we call it Destruction Derby over here in the UK, I believe. I'm not sure if that's true for over in the... I know in the United States they call it like Demolition Derby. I think that's what they call it over in America. Oh wow, I'm getting a lot of points right here, which is pretty cool. I mean, I never expected to get this many points. Yeah, on this track it's basically pure luck on how many points you get, because you can run to like somebody right here and get as many points as you possibly can, because you're like accelerating into them like at the full speed you're going at. But anyway, going back to my script. So yeah, and it's going to be a bit hard looking down at my phone and looking back at the screen at the same time, but basically the graphics on this game, I thought, now this might sound a bit funny to you guys, but since we're talking back in PS1 days, I thought they were pretty scary. And what I mean by that, you might be wondering, why do you think the graphics are scary? Well, if you look at the drivers, and I might actually put a picture of some of the drivers in this video, some of them look pretty scary on the PS1 graphics, but if they're smoothed out like on the PS3, which is what I'm playing this on right now, then they're not as bad, they're not as scary in my opinion. And also, I think, what else did I have here? The music is also very great as well. It's got this techno 90s track, if that's what I like to call it. And it's also like a fun fact as well. When you put this the PlayStation 1 disc into your computer, or even on the PlayStation 2, if you're playing like, or even as a matter of fact, actually PlayStation 2 and 3, then you'll be able to access music tracks. You'll get the actual soundtrack of this game, so that's a fun fact right there. And that's the same with a lot of other PS1 games, or some other PS1 games that I'll cover in this Throwback Tuesday series. So it's a pretty cool feature, that, and I've got that on my iPod as well. On my iPod Touch. I mean, I've had that for like 7 years now, but I digress. So anyway, so currently, like, my current thoughts right now, just comparing that to today. Like, I mean, I first put the music on my iPod back in, like, you're talking like 10 or 11 years ago, I think. I know it's like a decade. I mean, I can't believe it's been that long. But today, I feel that, and as we're entering the final lap on this, I still think it's a classic game. It really is a classic game for the PS1. In fact, it was released in like 1995. and I'm about to wreck my car here, and I'm on the final lap as well. Hopefully I don't end up wrecking it. I mean, oh, okay, and I managed to do it, so... Oh yes, I've completed the race despite my car being wrecked. But anyway, let's move on to the next racing mode. The Stock Car Championship mode, in my opinion, is much more... Okay, I'm not going to view the replay. It's a lot more faster paced than... Well... What was I going to say? Than the Wreck and Racing mode. And I'm going to do this on... What will I do this on? I think I'll do this on Cactus Creek, because why not? It's still like a crossover, and it's a bit more unpredictable as well in the stock car race. But I still think it's quite slow. Today, I still think the game is quite slow. But the only exception to that, from my point of view, is the stock car racing mode. So that's really my perspective on that. You can also select different cars, but I thought for this case, you know, I'm just going to stick with the rookie car, because why not? Now you see, they actually go a lot faster in stock car racing mode, because obviously you're just aiming to get first place. There's no race points. The only race points you get are if you enter first place, which I believe you get 50 points if you get first place, if memory serves me correctly. So the soundtrack is good, but some of the tracks don't really sound all that great to me. Some of them are not really that memorable. Like for instance, like I think there was one track, if I remember correctly, that wasn't very memorable to me, which was the results in the time trial, I think. I know it was like a time trial mode on this game, and there was only one track that stood out to me as being not really good. Like for example, this one right here is very good. But you see, for a game like this, in my opinion, whoa, as I go for a spin, for a game like this, it doesn't really fit that well. Like some of the tracks do fit, but some of them don't really fit that effectively. It fits more in like a Wipeout game, which is ironic actually, because Psygnosis, I think that's how you pronounce their name, actually developed Wipeout as well. This is the same team that developed the Wipeout games for PS1 as well. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Destruction Derby as a whole, but like just looking at the game here, to give a bit more of an in-depth look at it, there's one more mode on this, which is Destruction Derby mode, and it's not very good, especially if you're playing on Championship mode. It's pretty boring because you're just doing the same race over and over again, and I'll show you what I mean by that when I complete this race in the Stock Car Championship. But it's pretty repetitive, the Championship mode, which is why I'm glad I didn't do my Let's Play back at the time with on Destruction Derby mode, and I decided to do it with Wreck and Racing mode because it's more varied. But that's just my perspective on that. So what I want to move on to next, guys, is question time. So these are a few questions I like to ask you guys. So the first question is, have you ever played this game? Or actually, wait a minute. Did you ever play this game when you were a child, or at all? Have you ever played this game? And if so, this leads on to the next question. If so, what did you think of it? Or what did you like or dislike about the game? Or if you haven't played it before, and actually this leads on to the third question. If you haven't played it, would you be interested in purchasing the game? Because if that's the case, if you're wondering where to get this game, you can easily pick it up from the PlayStation Network on PS3 for like, I don't know, like £3 or something, or £4. Or if you really want to get it cheap, go on. I suggest to go on eBay, because you can pick up a hard copy off of eBay. I mean, that's really the only place I can suggest to get PS1 games nowadays. But those are my two suggestions. Like, if you're interested in playing this game after seeing this video, that's my suggestions to you guys. Actually, no. I mean, I might as well show off Destruction Derby mode before I end this off, actually. And yeah, the commentator in this is pretty... Yeah, they only slow you down. Yeah, I remember that. I always remember doing that with my... actually, I'm not going to spoil it. Actually, I'll do that in my reaction video in the second part of this episode. So, yeah, I remember, like, on this... Oh, whoa. Oh, crap. Okay, that's going to knock me down a few positions, but oh well, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, and yeah, so that's really all I can say for Destruction Derby, guys. So in fact, actually no, one more question I missed out. Actually, I'm glad I actually looked at my phone again. Since we're on the genre of like wreck and racing, or even racing games in general, what do you think of racing games? That's my question to you guys. I mean, is what do you think of racing games? And I'm about to get 10th place, I believe, out of 20, but I honestly don't mind, because it's just for fun, this, and I'm not going to be that frustrated if I don't get first place. Whoa. Okay, I really should have put my glasses on because that was the optician that I smashed. Yeah, and I've already got my glasses on. Yeah, I remember most of the drivers' names in this game. I know, I mean, I played this game a lot when I was younger, that I remember the drivers' names. But I think the race is about to be over any second. I think. Yep, called it. So, that's my script there, guys, for that. But I just want to show off something very quick before I end this episode, before I end this part off for episode 1. So, I'm not going to do the replay. Nope, screw that. Because I'm just... Oh, okay, I think I accidentally went on the replay. Okay, I think I'll just exit from it and just go back to the menu when this loads.
Okay, you want to watch some replays?
No, thank you. I will not watch some replays because I have something else to do on here, rather than watch replays. So anyhow, yes, one thing I wanted to show off, one more thing I wanted to show off was Destruction Derby mode. Yeah, so there's a time trials mode, but that's not really that memorable. Plus, oh, what makes this game better, you see, I can't choose a different track. I only have the bow as an option, and there's no unlockable tracks after that. This is the only track you get in Destruction Derby mode, which is not very varied, which is what I don't like about this. But I might as well just show this off, just to end it off right here. Basically, the main aim of this is to basically smash all of your opponent's cars, and just be the last car standing, basically, while getting a lot of points. That's basically all you do here. And I might as well, you know what, I'm just going to drive a bow through, but just smash into people. I mean, I recently did this mode for Blindfold Gaming, which I thought would be quite, well, fitting for this. Considering that the races would probably be the actual races I did in Wrecking Racing mode and Stock Car Championship, I thought they'd be pretty boring on Blindfold Gaming. Although they might have been interesting if I drove backwards right into the opponents. But I might end up doing Destruction Derby 2 for Blindfold Gaming, because that game, like the sequel to Destruction Derby 1, was actually a lot more exciting in my opinion, but I'll talk about that later. In fact, that will actually be the game I'm covering episode 2, because Destruction Derby 2 was the second game I did with commentary on my channel. So I will cover that in my next episode, in my kind of retrospective of it, I guess. So, you know, I think you get the main gist of it, guys, so I'm just going to exit this while I end this off. So, thank you all very much for watching, guys. This was the first part of episode 1 of Throwback Tuesday. If you have any suggestions for this series to make it better, please let me know in the comments, because I would like to hear your suggestions. Plus, any of the questions I might add for question time as well. If any of you guys have got any suggestions, I'd be greatly appreciated. So, thank you all very much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for part 2, where I react to one of my old Destruction Derby videos. I haven't picked one in particular, but you'll find out what that is. So until then, I shall see you when I go to the reaction videos. Until then, guys, have a great day, and I shall speak to you later.